Mom was going to send me, Mom has sent me 3 horses. One was called High on the Bayou. Was a very talented jumper, but I guess he twisted a vertebrae in his neck. There was no fall, there was no, he didn't get cast in the box. He just got quieter and quieter to ride for about 2 days, and I called the vet. I said, I don't know, something's wrong. He's not bucking, he's not being fresh and nasty, and something's wrong. And I'll never forget, the vet said, don't let him lie down. And we had just put him back in the box, and I ran around the corner and went to his box, and he was lying down, and we never got him up. And 12 hours later we had to put him down. It was one of the, but in any case, so I never really got them going as far. He would have been one of the most talented ones that came, and why that happened, I have no idea. I think it happened when he was 5, when he first came over. It was sort of the same, but somehow it must have straightened itself out. And in any case, this was a very sad situation. But the next horse, or the horse before him, was called Jet Run, I think. And he was smaller, and he wasn't going to be a big show jumper, but we knew he would probably be a good 3-day horse. So I had a friend of mine who rides 3-day, and I asked him to try this horse, to get on this horse, and he sat on him. I was on a bike. We went out into the woods, and in Germany, across the street is the 3-day center, or the Olympic Center, and they have in their woods every kind of 3-day obstacle that you could possibly imagine. So he just starts jumping these things. This horse had never seen them before. And of course, the horse was jumping, and he's shouting at me, saying, he's fine, he's great, I'm going to jump the ditch. And there was a ditch in the middle of the woods. We, as show jumpers also have to jump this ditch. So I knew this was the ditch that we used to school our jump. But I also knew there was a tree that had been growing next to the ditch, and they had let a branch grow quite low. And I said, you know, Torben, I think there's, and I heard the bang, ow, ah. And he had jumped a very young Jet, or Jet Run, whatever the horse's name was. And of course he had jumped the ditch huge, and he'd gotten his face right against this branch, and it wasn't a small branch, and he was all scraped up. It was horrible. But in any case, he got sold as a 3-day horse. He's still going in Germany. And apparently his only problem is when he jumps into a water obstacle, he stops and starts to paw. They cannot get him out of the water. They had to train him to get out, to keep running after them. But, so they've all actually been, except for High on the Bayou, and Patty came back here to be a 3-day horse. So they're pretty successful. But I think the funniest story is when Mom was sending, I think it was Jet Run, sending him, and I asked her to please send brooms from Agway. They have these great black brooms, and you just cannot get them anywhere else. And all the truck drivers in Germany want these brooms, and they always get the grooms from America who come over to leave their brooms with them when they go back, if they've come for a season. So Mom sent me 10 brooms in a box, and apparently she had to tell the woman at the that she was going to send a box of brooms with Jet Run. And this woman apparently thought she was saying grooms. So Mom's saying, well, just stick them in a corner. And the woman's going, we need papers, we need passports. My mom said, for brooms? For God's sakes, just put them in a corner. I'm paying for the horse. And the woman keeps hearing grooms. And she's going, Mrs. Monroe, I have to say. And Mom said this went on and on and on. And she's saying, they're all in, just stick them in, they're all in a box. And anyway, finally, she said, are we talking about grooms? And my mom said, we're talking about brooms. And then they started to laugh. And I'll never forget that story.